Hello, everyone, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game could end up being all about the defense as both teams top 10 in fewest yards allowed. The Saints are top 10 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Browns, who will need to find a way to move the football. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Tonight, we reach the unofficial midway point of the season with a good Monday night battle between the Cleveland Browns and the New Orleans Saints. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
Second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this is Michael Floyd, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. They'll step aside. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Huli Kikaha made a change in position while at the University of Washington, moving from defensive end to outside linebacker. That's exactly where he needs to play in the NFL. A terror coming off the edge.
They're going to look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
The Browns send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And they'll run it here. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And that was textbook 3-4 defense. Normally the defensive line just eats up blocks. In this case, they ate up the blocks and still made the play against the running game. Really, really nice job.
Being chased out left. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And a look at the offense that is hoping to put some points up in bunches here in this one. 2nd down, 8. A handoff as they run the counter play. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So it'll be 1st down here after the run. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And here's the starting crew defensively for Cleveland.
Jonathan Cyprien didn't have a big name coming into the league, but people know who he is now. A very fast center fielder of a safety.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Looking to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. There's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. He'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down. The intended target was Corey Coleman. Now 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at about the 28. The Browns send out their punter now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. This is brought in at the 21. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part and forget the bad.
I like that even better. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And it's caught. Kobe Fleener. 23 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. But I still remember my old coaches saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you. So make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident.
Now on 3rd and long. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Completes it over the middle to Floyd. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
He's got time. Drops it off to Ajayi. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They run with Ajayi. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll look to throw here. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Here's Will Monday now. For the Browns, back deep is Corey Coleman. And that'll hit it in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. They'll drop the throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Now back to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. 14 yards that time for number 14. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And on the ground they go with the running back. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
And for the 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
23 yards on the play.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now it's Ajayi. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a high.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. We'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So the offense able to recover the fumble, but it's third down now. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Out of the gun now on third down. Finding time. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these 2 offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Haoli Kikaha. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got a man complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He'll look to throw. Complete to right. It's a gain of 20 that time. And it's good enough for a Cleveland first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a third down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They've got his man complete. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter. I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They come out here in the eye. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. It'll be a loss of 1. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Action fake. They'll look to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball. It doesn't work running the ball. And then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time. That short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those plays, NFL. That's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They run again with Ajayi. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They come out here in the eye.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but at least it does draw them back level.
And that has to be job one. A touchdown certainly would have been nice. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you get the rest of the second half to try and get yourselves in front.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
13 yards there on the pickup, and that leads to a New Orleans first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Surveying the field. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Kobe Flainer, the tight end, his intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays.
And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up up to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Cameron Jordan coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. They're going to look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Kendall Wright, the intended target. And now it's 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
A big-time return there, 40 yards. And he'll have a short field to go as this drive starts on the fringe of the red zone at the 20. They come out here in the I. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And that's also all for this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a tight, low-scoring affair thus far. 3-3 is our score heading into the 4th. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we still wait on the first touchdown of the game, but his 2nd field goal makes this now a 6-3 score.
And this would be the definition of winning ugly. Now you need to continue to ride your defense and hope that you can make this 4th quarter lead stand up.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Delvin Braun with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that load in the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Looking to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be from 56 yards out. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it winds up being just a little bit short.
He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He finds Coleman. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Back to throw now on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And, boy, he can get hurt.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Forced out to his left. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is...
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And Parkey's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch right down the pipe, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
And he didn't leave much doubt there, did he? Good snap, good hold, and that one was dead center.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Tie game late, and the offense really has to be conscious of the clock here as it's becoming a factor late in this ball game. Let's go. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
It's taken to the 26. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Tie game here. Time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied, see if they can get the ball back for the offense. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 4. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. They're going to look to throw. It's complete to Flanner. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Room here to run. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They come out here in the I. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They'll come out in the pistol. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. 3rd down now following the run. They come up with 1 back. That's Ingram. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And his kick here is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with 1 final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And now the Browns offense trots back onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. They'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Haoli Kikaha in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
He'll look to throw, and he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
All right, man. Every day is an opportunity to get better. We got to get better today. What I want to know is who's excited to work. I'm ready to work today. Are you ready to work?
Green 39! Green 39! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Now let's go! Green 30! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Here we go now! Blue 90! Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39! Hurry up, here we go! Here we go now! Green 39! Green 30! Now let's go! Green 39! Green! Set! 319! Now let's go! Three! Set! 319!
You know what, man? That was pretty darn good. You know what really gets me excited? The fact that I know we can get better. You guys have so much room to improve still. That is exciting. Let's go out here and next practice, let's improve.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Here we go now! Green! All right, here we go. Green! Set! Blue 90! Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39! Hurry up, here we go! All right, here we go. Green! Hurry up, here we go! Blue! Now let's go! Blue 90! All right, here we go. 319! All right, here we go. 319! Now let's go. 319! All right, here we go. Green! Set! Green 39! Now let's go! 319! All right, here we go. Blue 90!
Hey, big fella, swing on. Stuff. We've been talking about you getting better.